Hi there and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cannon of the Gazette, joined by my former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Knuckles, 4 games into the season. Arber, Xhekaj, 6th defenseman role, not getting a lot of ice time. Jaden Struble watching from the press box. How do you think this is going to play out as the season goes on with Xhekaj and Struble sort of battling for that spot?
Listen, my boy here, he looks very hesitant. He looks unsure when he's on the ice at times. I don't know if he's all that confident in his game right now. And what's that from? Lack of playing time? Maybe some mistakes he's made that maybe confidence-wise he's not where he should be. Listen, a big guy like that in a fast game like this, you have to be able to move your feet quickly in your own end of the rink, okay? And, I remember Jacques Lemaire took me aside, brought me in the face-off circle. He would make me do crossovers and move the puck. I had to react to the puck really quick in that tight area. And it helped me with my foot speed, crossing over, changing direction, all those things. I think it'd be something that'd be really beneficial to him. But here's a kid, if he's a 6D, he has to do more than be a bottom pair D-man. He has to be able to take ice time away from guys like Dobson when it comes to penalty killing, right? He has to be a penalty killer. You can't be one-dimensional. So, yeah, you play a regular shift, and then you're going to get out there and chew up some PK time, and that hasn't happened for him yet. I know he's a project for this coach, and I just hope they stick with him and they see it through. If he happens to come out of the lineup, listen, Struble had a great training camp. I don't care. Like, that kid had a great training camp. And Arber starts the season, and, I'm sure in the back of his mind, he knows that someone's waiting in the wings. And is it coming again? And yeah, I just hope they stick with him and and he's able to rise to the occasion and improve his game to the point where, he'll be part of this defense on a regular basis.
Ricky, Arber's chiseled now. I mean, he's lost some weight. He said he worked in the summer. His mother was cooking for him. His strict diet, working out. He said he was wanting to get faster, get foot speed faster. I talked to him the other day, and he was saying that, one of the tough parts about such limited ice time is, during TV timeouts, he's going on the ice and skating just to try and keep his legs warm. Just what are your thoughts as a former assistant coach in charge of the defense about how they've been handling him?
My feeling is, as a big body, you have to play. You have to get your minutes in order for you to get your skating, to get your feel. I know myself as a big body in the day, when you sit for an extended period, you're not involved. You don't have the feeling, and his confidence right now, I think, is questioned. He's hesitant, and that's no surprise because he knows somebody is waiting in the wings to take his possible spot. But in all fairness to him, I wish I could see him more in playing minutes than what we're seeing. I think that would allow him to get more involved and feel more confident in what kind of game he needs to play rather than just, a shift here, a shift there. It's really tough to do that. And he's the kind of guy, as a big body, it would be more beneficial for him to be involved more in playing time to get his best game forward. And there's no secret, right? You got to get the results. You got to make things happen when you have the opportunity. If it doesn't happen, somebody else is going to take your spot. But we'll see. And they have somewhat of a luxury of having depth there on the blue line that they can bring Struble in if they have to. But I hope not. I wish Xhekaj, more ice time.
Well, Knuckles Joe Valeno, another guy who watched the first 4 games from the press box. I imagine if or when he does get in the lineup, it seems like the guy who might come out is Patrik Laine. Is that going to be, if that is the case, is that a tough decision for Marty St. Louis to do with a veteran guy like Laine?
Listen, I don't think it's a tough decision for this coach. I think if he feels someone isn't pulling their weight or not getting it done, they're going to find themselves in the stands. And was he in on the winning goal, the tying goal last night? Yeah, made a nice play to, Demidov, and but that's what this kid can do. All of a sudden, he does nothing all game, and then he gets on the power play and snipes. So, how long is this coach going to live with that? We'll see. He wants consistency from this kid, especially 5-on-5. And so far, and what he did last year didn't prove that he could play 5-on-5 and really bring anything. The power play was his bread and butter. So I think he's going to give him a shot here, see what he can do in the early going. And then Valeno certainly will get a shot at some point. I don't know if he's ready, this coach, to make that decision just yet. I think he's going to give him a little more rope.
Yeah, Rick, in Laine's defense, I mean, he's worked hard all summer. He worked hard in training camp. The effort level seems to be there defensively. It just seems like speed-wise with the fast-paced game Marty wants to play 5-on-5, that to me looks like it's been a problem for him.
Yeah, he looks a little bit of a step behind on occasion. I don't know if he was ever a real, quick player. He's a big body, and we all know that his specialty is power play stuff and being able to shoot the puck. And I think you have to be concerned a little bit that if you were to take him out of the lineup, what kind of mindset he would have and how he would react to that at this point. I think, like Nuck said, you give him a little more time and see if he can't deliver more. And if not, then, it's time to make a change. But he's definitely got the skill set, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't want to apply it each and every shift.
No, because I know you were a forward and Jack as a defenseman, but you similar roles, right, as guys playing or want to play a regular shift and also defend your teammates. I'm sure earlier in your career you went through periods where maybe you were spending a lot of time on the bench. What's your best advice to Arber at this point on how we should handle what's going on right now?
Yeah, all you can do is, honestly, all they can do is just keep working and keep his mouth shut and bust hump and be ready when called on. And listen, if you have questions as to why you're not playing, I'm sure the coach's room the door is wide open. Like he has a lot of respect for Marty and what he does. He's trying to work with him, and that's a difficult job. And again, it's not to the extent that it was back in our day. I mean, you're fighting every night, not every 10 games. So that's another thing I'm sure Marty takes into consideration. Do we need that toughness every game? And that kind of sucks if you don't play and then all of a sudden you're in for a shit show and you get dropped in the lineup. Well, time to do your job. But again, it's a lot easier for him to do if he's playing and feels part of. But I'm sure knowing Arber, doesn't matter if he was out of the lineup and got put into the lineup, he'd be there for his teammates.
The message that I used to send to the young D when they are struggling a little bit is you break your game down into 2 or 3 things that you want to excel at each and every game. And for a defenseman to be dependable defensively, to make decisions under pressure well, and just making sure that your presence is felt physically without running around, taking yourself out of position. So my word of advice would be simplify things and understand the type of player you are, and don't get overwhelmed with trying to do too many things. Do what you do best, keep it simple, and be dependable, and don't be in a situation where you put your team at risk for goals against, because it all starts back there, because we all know the most intelligent players on the ice are the defensemen.
Knuckles, back in your day, it was a different time, but was the coach's door open? Like when you were earlier in your career, maybe not playing that much, were you able to go in and say, Coach, why aren't I playing? Or can you put me in?
I wouldn't go there. Bob Berry, no.
Just sat and wait your turn?
No. You know who I would often go in and talk to because I loved him, and he was awesome, was Lemaire.
Mm-hmm.
Lemaire was, but the good thing about Lemaire, he would tell you, if you're doing well and he liked where you're at, he'd tell you. If you were, on the hit parade, you were going to get hit. And he put it in a way where he made you understand. He always told me, it's always difficult for players to be honest about their own play. You always think you were better than you were, And he said, you got to be really honest with yourself as a player to know where your game is at. And if you're not, you're kidding yourself. So
was it Lemaire who told you you're allowed one bad game out of 10 or something like that? Was that it?
Yeah.
That was it, one bad game out of 10?
Yeah, 8 games a year. He said you're going to have one game like that every 10 games. And,
He didn't treat me like that in the playoffs against Boston when he went down to Lappy and said, put Green on the bench, put him on the end of the bench. But I deserved it.
Yeah, there you go. Game, right, Rick?
I woke up. I said, okay, you're right. I am playing like crap. So, okay, I'll get it going.
Yeah, he was good at it.
Yeah, Red Fisher told you that once too, didn't he, Rick? I remember you
telling me. Yeah, he warned me. He said you're going to be reading yourself in the paper tomorrow, so better get going. So I appreciated that.
Right.
Yeah. Different times. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Look for one more bonus episode later this week, and then we'll be back with our regular weekly Hockey Inside Out show next Wednesday.